All right, we are live.
Hello, everyone.
What's up, everybody?
This was
Facebook world,
Yes, Danny
CCH
and
world.
Scotty here with you. Once again, we have Carmelo, the voice with no face. Someday,
That's all right. Voice is better.
Carmelo will figure out his Skype issues. We thought we had this figured out. He called me while I was driving, and I answered via Skype, and I saw his pretty face right there. But apparently, it's not working again.
yeah. I was on with tech support for like an hour a day trying to get this shit fixed.
Oh,
As long as we can hear you talk, that's all that matters.
Thank you. I'm not as handsome as you guys anyway, so it's probably for the best.
I love to see your pretty face.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think Carmelo's a pretty handsome man.
Yeah, I mean, at least you can grow a beard and hair. I mean, I can't do either, really. So I can grow scruff, but that's about it.
Rob grows enough beard for both of you.
Yes, he does. Yes, I'll take some of his beard hair, his pubic beard hair.
Mine's coming in now. Let it grow a little bit.
Yeah, yours looks pretty long. Your hair is long.
Yeah, the hair is pretty.
Looking like Matthew McConaughey over there.
All right, I'll take it.
Yeah, damn right.
And,
You need that
we should
southern accent.
Some Kickstarter project we're wrapping up in the next day.
Yeah, I was. We have a few viewers. You guys, no comments yet. Throw a comment in if you're there and you're watching, and comment, dick pic, whatever you want to put in the comments. There, we'll take a look.
Probably can't do a DP on Facebook.
I guess. You can text those to Carmelo. He'll make sure that we all see them.
Yes.
Naturally,
Make sure you
yes.
get your number out.
Yeah.
I'll describe each one in detail if you want to go ahead and send them my way.
That would be awesome. That'd be good. All right. All right. So, well, we might as well. I don't want to spend too much time on this. We just wanted to pop on live here real quick to just talk about the end of our Kickstarter campaign, which is tomorrow night. By the way, Lansdale, what's up? You smooth talking motherfucking. Who's got a deep voice?
I got a deep voice. Oh, you mean like Barry White?
Barry, yeah, you smooth talking Barry White motherfucker, Lansdale, up in the house.
God love you.
All right, anyways, sorry to interrupt myself.
Ever.
We are ending our Kickstarter campaign for She Walks the Woods tomorrow night. We just want to go over some things that, some thank yous, some updates, general things we want to talk about before that ends, and to do a final push for this last, a little over 24 hours. I think it's like 29 or 30 hours left, 29 hours, something like that, Carmelo, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, we have 29 hours to go.
All right, 29 hours.
29 and counting.
We're going live till it's over. No, I'm just kidding.
We're gonna be here all night long, baby.
Didn't you do that, Carmelo, once? Didn't you?
I did. It was like a phone bank. I did it for my my last Kickstarter for the graphic novel Cellar Door, and I logged on like 3 hours before it ended, and I had no more than like 10 or 15 people at any one time, but maybe like 50 or 60 passed through, and they kept saying like, no, keep it going, go till midnight, and I was just like, I'm done. I hit all my goals. I'm beat. I gotta go.
Yeah, well, we won't be doing that here. Sorry, we have a podcast to record when we're done with this, so just letting you guys know.
That would require tons of meth and coffee. Yeah, we couldn't stay up that long.
Yeah.
I don't have anywhere near enough meth, and Rob's not with us because he's at Merit Hills for pie, so he can't provide the meth we need.
That's true.
See, you're right.
Rob's
I know down in Florida, it's like in abundance down there for sure.
Rob's not joining us. He had dinner plans with the family, and then we're sneaking the podcast in after this. So, oh well, that's all right. So, anyways,
oh well.
Yeah, I just want to. I want to start by thanking. I have my screen over here. You'll see me looking. I want to thank a select group of backers from the Kickstarter campaign. Sorry, I almost said patrons. I'm so used to talking about that.
Yeah. Pledgers, backers.
Yeah. That's,
subtle plug. Very nice.
Yeah, a little subtle plug there. If you aren't a patron and you want to become a patron, you should do so before tomorrow night when the Kickstarter ends, because you will get an extra bonus poster from the Kickstarter for just for being a patron. So you might want to go do that real quick. Patreon.com/CultClassicHorror. So anyways, yes, I realize that we want to thank all you guys, first of all. Before I thank anyone in particular, I just want to thank all you guys for participating, for sharing this Kickstarter. It really has just blown us out of the water. You know, we set the goal at $5,900, and we did set it low, like admittedly. We set it a little bit low because we weren't sure what we could do. We were hoping for more, but we wanted to at least have a successful Kickstarter, so we set the goal low, per Carmelo Chimera's guidance, yes. And, you know, it blown us away. I mean, we're over 200% funded now, sneaking up onto 13K right now. We're keeping our fingers crossed that maybe we can hit that 15K mark before the campaign ends tomorrow night. If we still have one more stretch goal. If we get 14K before the end of the campaign, then we will add animated menus to the Blu-ray, which, Carmelo brought that up, and I was like, yeah, sure, throw that in as a stretch goal. And I actually have no idea how to do that or who to talk to get that done, but we'll make sure it gets done.
Yeah. Of course. We
Thoughts
always find
on
a way
that,
to
Carmelo?
get things done.
I think that's why we made it the highest stretch goal, was because in case it turned out to be something really crazy, difficult, or expensive, we sort of knew we had our bases covered. Because that's really the point of stretch goals, is like in a perfect world, you wouldn't have any, right? In a perfect world, your goal would be exactly what you're able to fund and no more than that. And then the reality is that sometimes you are just way more successful than you think, which is what happened here. And when that happens, the stretch goals are a way to share that success with the backers. And I know that sounds like a sleazy, like, political line, but it's true, right? It's like the whole point of, like, a community of a crowdfunding thing is, like, everybody working together. So it's not them throwing money at you when you already got it. It's you're giving that back to them by making the product better.
Yeah.
Very, very true. So, with that being said, once again, thank everybody for helping and sharing. Even if you didn't pledge, if you shared it and whatever. Hey there, Teresa. Zach Rice asking Scotty what his favorite style of beer is.
That's a tough one, Zach. I'd have to say probably IPA or pale ale. That would be my favorite. I like everything, though, but that'd be my two toppers.
So, yes, thank you guys all. But I do just want to give some personal special shout-outs to anyone who pledged at $150 or above, because it sort of narrows it down. Those are people that, I mean, committed, have really helped us out. Yeah. And a few people that we don't even know who pledged upwards of $1,000. And I just want to take a moment to recognize them as well. So I just want to recognize our 4 backers who have so far done the special guest host level, which basically means they get all the bells and whistles plus, I shouldn't say all the bells and whistles. They don't get a producer credit yet. But anyone who pledges at $150 above, and you still have a chance to do this, so you can go to Kickstarter.shewalksthewoods.com right now, and you can still pledge, pick this level up because it's still available. These people will eventually be guests on our podcast, the Cult Classic Horror Show, and we will. They'll be on the whole episode. We'll talk about whatever movie they want, as long as it's cool with us, and they'll just join the conversation. So I want to thank Carlos Omar de Leon, Todd Galbate, Bronson Nix, and, of course, Mr. Christopher Ellswick for pledging at the $150 level. Christopher, I think, already wants to do Scream. We need to do those anyways. So
yeah, we need those for sure.
You can jump. Maybe we'll just wait for you, Christopher, and you can jump on the first Scream episode with us. So that would be cool.
I'm so glad for that, because we really going to need to team up on Rob with that one. He's really hard on the Scream movies, so we're going to need backup, Christopher.
Yeah, yes. It's very true.
We grew up with those movies. We even did little filming sessions of it back in the day. So we love those ones.
Yeah, little known fact. We used to make what we called them Scream movies because that's what they were. I had a buddy, we had a friend with a shitty handheld camera, and then he would we had a Scream Halloween costume, and we would make Scream movies. We would act them out with his shitty camera. It was the worst acting ever. And to get a soundtrack, we would actually play music in a boombox in the background. And so fun times. I'd be curious to ask Peter if those tapes are still available somewhere.
I think he taped over them, but you know what? Hopefully maybe he archived them somewhere.
So I next want to thank our 7 backers so far at the associate producer level. This means they get everything I talked about before, including a guest spot on the podcast, but they're also going to get an associate producer's credit on IMDb and in the credits. So, and I think we have unlimited amounts of these as well. So you can go to kickstarter.shewalksthewoods.com and pledge at this level still, and you can get your name on IMDb. If you already have an IMDb because you're an actor or you've done some film stuff, it's a good way to add a producing credit. You can call yourself a producer, or if you're already a producer, add to your experience. Or if you don't have an IMDb at all, and you want something cool to show your grandma at Christmas, you can just get to that level. We will create an IMDb page for you, and you can then look yourself up on IMDb. It's pretty cool. I want to thank Samuel Falkingham, Black Lion, Stacy Rigney, Teddy T, Reese, Keith Gillis, and Neil and Heather Edridge, who I assume are Vivian's parents, who plays Hope in the movie. So thank you guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Takes me a second. Let me just switch to the next tier here. This is our straight up producer tier, $550. We still have one position left at this level. So if you want to be a fully credited producer on IMDb, and you want to receive a screen-used prop/costume from the film, as well as everything we mentioned before, including a guest spot on the podcast, we still have one of these available. So go to kickstarter.shewalksthewoods.com. You can take the producer spot. Keep in mind, if you pledged already, you can upgrade and take the spot. You don't have to just leave your pledge the same. So, so you will be a full producer credit on IMDb and in the credits. I want to thank JR, Ari Washburn, and Kurt Acklam for pledging at those levels. Once again, 3 people that I don't know, off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And just blows my mind that these people will just come out and support us. I know that Kurt Acklam is a friend of Jeremy Coomrines, who is one of the hunters in the first scene, and who also was basically a PA on set. So, it's just amazing when you run these things, the people who come out of the woodwork to support you. And our minds are just blown. That's what's blowing my mind mostly. I'm not super surprised to see a lot of the elites on the pledge list, some family members, some friends. But it's all these, that's only made up about, what do we have, 120 some backers now, Carmelo?
So it looks like it's about a third of the people that, you kind of count on as your regulars.
Yeah.
And, those are people you're grateful for, but you sort of kind of hope that you'd have their support. It's really cool when new folks or folks you don't know personally discover your project and believe in you and take a gamble on you like that.
Yeah, I would say what you said, at least 2/3 are people I have no idea who they are. So, I mean, that's awesome. And I feel
from the Kickstarter is now these are people that you can get to know. And even if that's the connection is through the Kickstarter, great. If that's all it ever is, maybe they're people who want to come back and support the next film or the next film. Maybe they become podcast listeners. And I've run many Kickstarters now. I've run 6 Kickstarters, including this one, and I've made a lot of good friends and people who I would consider friends and fans through Kickstarter. So hopefully that happens here.
Oh no, that's so true.
Yeah.
Christopher Ellswick just popped in. What's up, Christopher?
What's up, Christopher? How's it going, buddy?
you're gonna have to watch this from the beginning because I already thanked you personally for donating or for pledging to Kickstarter. Sorry, I don't like to use the donating because you're getting a lot of value in return. So once again, like I said, plenty of people I don't know that have come out to support that we're just super excited about. We're excited for them to see the film and to work with these people again on a future project. I'll tell you what, I'm super hopeful that we hit that 14, 15K mark before tomorrow night because I gotta be honest, there's a lot of names I don't see yet in our pledge list. So you guys that are listening and watching, you elites, you guys that, and don't get me wrong, we're not going to shame people into pledging. We totally understand if you can't make it happen.
Yeah, it's no big deal at all.
But just know we're watching, we see, so we're hopeful. We'll just put it that way. We're hopeful, and if some of you guys aren't able to, that's totally fine. But we're hopeful. That's how I'm going to put it. I do want to. I got just a couple more people I want to thank. These two people are executive producer backers. We only had 2 slots open at first for this, and this was $1,100 or more to get this level. And I thought for sure that someone I knew would take these, but I have no idea who these 2 people are. Now I do because I have reached out to them personally and thanked them on Facebook. But I want to thank Maisie K. Kendrick and also Andrea Tucker for really putting it down and pledging at the $1,100 level. So thank you guys a lot. And you guys will be seeing more of them because at that level, they now have a walk-on cameo role in our next film, which is in deep into pre-production.
Yes.
Right, Carmelo?
Yeah.
Script almost complete. Location almost found.
No. We're writing the script, and the script is like it's like it takes a lot of time to prep a script. If you're doing it right, you write your outlines, and you plan your characters, and you're writing a ton of stuff that no one is ever going to see, and some of it may not even be in the movie, right? Like I know where these characters up and what their childhood would like, and it would never make it into the movie. You plan all that stuff out so that you have a better finished product, and so we've been kind of finished that stage, and now we're in the stage of just writing the script. But the Kickstarter is like in its last week, so it's really been the focus of our time, but I think it's going to come together real quick after this. I'm excited to meet those executive producer backers on the set of the movie. And I hope that I know there's a few more slots for executive producers we opened up as like script supervisors, and we haven't had anyone pledge there yet. I think it's probably because having the cameo role was such a cool and attractive opportunity. But if you've ever tried to make a movie, the script supervisor reward is really awesome because like you'll get to read what we're working on. We can't guarantee we'll take every suggestion if you're like a crazy person, but if you have good ideas, right, we'll incorporate those, and you can name a character, and you can come on set with us to film the movie and visit the set. So I think that's an awesome way to get involved. Like someone like me, I've never wanted to be in a movie, but I want to make movies, right? So this is a great year to do that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
it's a free opportunity to just to get involved, but just by helping us, and you're part of the film.
It's true because, I mean, like, for example, I know that Andrea Tucker, I looked her up, she's in Denver, she's an actress. I talked to Maisie K, she's an actress, and although they're guaranteed walk-on cameo roles in this next film, we'll probably audition them for the female parts, so you never know. It could turn into, like, a big part. And same with, that brings me to my next point, and Carmelo already talked about it a little bit, is yes, we did open up 2 more executive producer slots to help finish out the campaign strong. Those are $1,000 level or more, so just $100 less than the current one already. And that one, like Carmelo said, does not include a role in the film, but it does include the title of quote-unquote script supervisor, which means that yes, we will send you our completed script for review before we send it really to anyone else. You can give us suggestions, feedback. And if you have a good suggestion or something, well, we might just slip it in the film. And then you can watch that film and show your family and be like, look, I told them to do that, and they're doing it. And I think, Carmelo, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it comes with a character name too, right?
Yeah, you'll get to name a character in the movie. So that's which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, you'll get to name a character. Of course, we do have veto power, so no naming characters like Umbrella. I have no idea. Something stupid.
Yeah,
it's not a name.
You can't name a character Boner, but then again, wasn't there like a famous character named that in like Saved by the Bell or something? Never mind.
I don't know.
But just keep it.
Yeah. So
there's some interesting names out there, but a more common like actual name would be better.
So obviously,
it could be a fun name. I really don't mind if it's like an unusual name, as long as it's not like a stupid, doesn't make any sense kind of name. Like you said, like Umbrella, like no one's named that.
Yeah. So yeah, we have only two of those available. So if you guys are interested, jump in there and pledge or upgrade your pledge if you can. We'll thank you forever. That also lets you come on to set as we're filming too. So that'll be in Colorado. We won't pay for your airfare, but we will allow you to come on set and sort of hang out and just see the whole process and everything. Okay? And I'm sure that will include.
I might have an extra room for you to stay in too, so or a couple extra rooms. So if you guys want to use the house, that's fine.
We'll provide food as well, so you can just have what we're feeding the crew and actors.
For this level, they'll be credited as well, right? Within the movie.
The two that already thanked, and at this level, you get an executive producer credit. So that's for those of you that don't know, that's like the highest level of producer. So that would look pretty decent on your IMDb. You could be like, hey, I'm an executive producer. That usually means that you are one of the main driving forces. Usually means you're the money that got the movie made. So,
and you'll see your name when you're watching the movie in the credits.
That's right. So cool. Those are all the thank yous I wanted to touch on. That was the update on the rewards. I'm just trying to think if we had any other updates. We already released some things. We're going to have add-ons. I've even had people ask me about this today even, that yes, once the campaign is over tomorrow night, you will be given the option to add on to your order with some of these single items that aren't in your tier. So let's say you got the Blu-ray, but you also want the T-shirt, but you didn't want to pledge to the $100 level or whatever it is to get the T-shirt. Well, you can just pay $30 more and we'll send you a T-shirt. Or if you did the digital and you just want the Blu-ray, you can pay $30 more just to get the Blu-ray. So everything is priced out. It'll be sort of like a little online store once you go to check out, fulfill everything. So, did I explain that right, Carmelo?
Yeah, you nailed it. They'll get a survey, where you put in your address, your T-shirt size, or whatever. And if they want to get more stuff, they can always add more money there. Or if they've overpledged above their reward tier before the campaign ends, then they will have like a credit, and they can use that credit toward the add-ons. Which is a nice way to do it because it helps us get that Kickstarter total up. Either way, of course, doesn't really make a difference in the end. And we'll have a little video. I've already sent one out as an update, but we'll send another one out with the surveys as just a little instructional thing. I think for most people, it's a pretty intuitive, like online store kind of thing. For other folks, like I've had my dad call me and ask me to walk him through it, which is why I did the video. So kind of try to make it as easy as possible for you. I know add-ons can be confusing because they're not a native part of the Kickstarter platform. But that's why we're using BackerKit. It's going to make add-ons really easy at the end.
Yeah. And I just want to let you know we have 166 backers, which is great. That's I think it just went up one too. So someone must have just went in. So thank you guys for helping us keeping growing strong here.
And then as far as
that's awesome.
Yeah, as far as posters and Blu-ray covers, and we've been getting some questions about that, guys, too. They're not set in stone yet. We have a lot of mock-ups we've been using and examples we've been using, and that's just what those are, examples. Some of them, it might end up being what it is, but we're squabbling amongst ourselves and such about what to use, what not to use. We sort of want to get our distributor to weigh in on that as well. But we'll make sure it's something cool. It'll be, something that you've probably seen already. Will end up being the Blu-ray cover or the poster you receive. So yeah, just know that we don't have an exact design for what we're going to use yet, except that it will be one of the designs we've been using. So you've seen it, but we're just not sure which one it is yet.
Yeah. We have a few out there now, and more recently newer ones that have come out. But yeah, one of those will be the one.
If we didn't need the input or didn't want the input of a distributor, then it would be. We might have picked one, and then in a perfect world, we would have picked like a Kickstarter exclusive cover that we would have done. Maybe that's something we conceive of for the next movie we do. But this time, since we couldn't very well say what the Kickstarter exclusive would be, and then have the distributor tell us, no, that's your best cover. That needs to be the main cover.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. We have some ideas of what it's going to end up being, but we'll see what happens there.
But it's good to take the advice from the distributor who's been doing it for a while.
So updates on
Tyan Franco's here. James McCarthy is here.
As far as updates on distribution and things, those are we don't have a lot for you guys yet. We have to wait for the Kickstarter to get over to end so that we know whose names need to go in the credits. And then, basically that's what it is. Whose names need to go in the credits so that we can then completely finalize the file that we're sending to the distributor to have our film and then begin their process of distribution. So, when we talked to them, they sent us over a file of like 38 things that we need to send them in all these different formats. And so our editor, Jason Potter's working on that, and we have to wait till the campaign ends to get all you guys' names in there that belong in the credits. And then we can talk to them about, here's our artwork, what are your suggestions and things like that. So we definitely
need someone to snatch up those last two $1,000 spots and $500 spots so we can hurry up and put your name in the movie, guys. Yeah, because we need to get that done quick.
Yeah, that's right. So, and once they get everything in hand, I'm not sure what we're looking at. I'm just sort of throwing it out there that I hope that we get everything onto digital platforms. They did say they'll release sort of one at a time on platforms, so we might see like Amazon first, then a month later we'll see Google Play, then a month later we'll see iTunes, and they'll roll them out slowly like that. But I'm hoping we maybe see the first digital platform before the end of the year. So, and I think we should be able to get the Blu-rays out well before that, though, like October, November, something like that. So we'll just see what happens. But don't worry, we won't leave you guys hanging ever. If we end up having to just front the money and do our own run of Blu-rays just for Kickstarter backers, then that's what we're going to do. And also, I said we're waiting for the campaign to end to put your names in the credits, but we're also waiting for it to end to complete those stretch goals, because one of them we've already surpassed. Well, we've surpassed both of them, was a behind-the-scenes featurette, so we need to create that now, which will be a series of interviews with all of us involved in it, along with some actual behind-the-scenes footage, because obviously we shot a ton of footage and edited it down to a small amount. So it's editing that together and paying our editor a little bit more to do that, which is what the stretch goal is for, what we do with that extra money. And then now we just hit the other stretch goal that me and Scotty will take a camera back up to where we filmed, do a set walkthrough, explain where we did everything, where everything took place. Probably we'll end up talking a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff then as well, too. And we need to edit that together and get all of that on the file and send to the distributor so that it can all be part of that Blu-ray that we send out. So that's what we're waiting on. It's sort of, this Kickstarter has stalled the process, but it's also going to immensely help us financially, and it's going to help us
feed it. Yeah,
it's already helped us to spread the word. So many more people know about this because of this campaign. So, bloopers, Christopher Ellswick. There are definitely some bloopers that we can put out there. Hopefully Potter can dig those out.
I'll tell you what. No, I don't speak for them 100%, but if we blow past the $14,000 stretch goal and we feel good about it that last day tomorrow, maybe we'll make a blooper reel the $15,000 stretch goal.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Awesome.
Let's do it. We'll do it.
We got tons of that for that reel. We got a lot of stuff. Me setting up the snare trap and never working, and there's just endless stuff. So there's a lot of good things there.
I see. Thanks, Ty. Sacrificial Terror podcast. I don't know if who's running that. Might be Lance, but
Lance Wagner's in the house too.
And if you guys haven't checked out Sacrificial Terror podcast or Sacrificial Pond Productions and the films they're putting together, you guys should go follow them as well. Yeah, we all.
Freddie Torres is here too.
Together.
Yeah, we're all one. We're all one big community, and we all support each other. I love you guys.
I think that was. I just did want to say, because we've been talking about it. I just want to put it out there that once this Kickstarter wraps up, our next sort of big thing that we're going to tackle is revamping the Patreon. So we've talked to Carmelo. He's going to help us out. Since he's part of the team now, part of the podcast team and writing team for the next film, we're going to be revamping the Patreon because honestly, Scotty and I just threw it up there not really knowing what the hell we were doing. And Carmelo has some experience using it for the comic book industry, and we're going to revamp that. So you guys that are patrons, you're going to, I'm assuming, get a good amount more of bonus material and more importantly, more consistent bonus material. And also, so if you aren't a patron yet, you might want to jump in there before the end of the campaign to get that extra bonus poster and then to reap the benefits of this sort of revamping of the Patreon that we're going to be doing. So check that out at patreon.com/cultclassichorror. And even if you go sign up right now, you'll already get like 6 episodes of the Cult Classic Action Show and 5 episodes of Cult Classic Comedy, and I think something like 30 pre-show conversations. So yeah, it's going to be cool.
There's some hilarious stuff in there, guys, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I think besides, if you guys have any questions while I'm wrapping up, feel free to throw them in the comments over there, and we'll get to those as well. But really, just wanted to jump on, say thank you. Give you some updates on what's going on just behind the scenes over here at CCH, and yeah, just chat with you guys. Did you have anything else to add, Carmelo?
Nothing, just except to say that when we started this and when you asked me if I would be a part of helping you do this amazing Kickstarter, I knew instantly that it would be a huge success because I see how loyal the listeners are. I see how active the Facebook group is. I see how well everybody knows each other. It's a good group of people, and we like to bust each other's chops and make fun of each other, and then they're still friends. And to do that in the age of the internet being what it is, that's pretty amazing because people online can be pretty vitriolic sometimes. And this group is none of that. Everyone's super cool. And I knew that they'd come together around this project. And even knowing that, I'm still blown away by how much they've come around this project. It's a great. You know how many Kickstarters are able to do more than 10,000 on their first try? It's almost none. Like this, it would shock you how low that number is.
Yeah, it's
2/3 of Kickstarters fail, just straight out fail, right? And then of the 33% that succeed, I think it's like less than 10% maybe. I haven't checked the number in a while. Can do more than 10,000. And you always hear about these like $1 million campaigns and stuff, but they're very, very few and far between. So for you guys to come out of the gates and on your first try, you're a project Kickstarter loved, and you're featured on the front page when you look up films on Kickstarter right now. And it's because of these listeners and these awesome fans. Like, that's why you do this episode, the recordings every week. So I think that's really, really cool.
So these last 4.5 years we've been doing the podcast have really paid off. Not even it's not for the money. It's just for you guys. We love horror. We love you guys. And we started with one fan, and then now we have all these followers and stuff. And it's just because of consistency that we put out and that you guys have helped us carry out. So I want to thank you guys. I mean, especially all of you guys that are like super fans that have listened to us and followed us for the last month to the last 4 years. Thank you for posting this on your personal Facebook page, sharing every post we post for Box the Woods. Some of you guys as your backdrop on your Facebook, and Kickstarter info there. Thank you guys for sharing it and really putting it out there to your friends, your family that are part of Cult Classic Horror. That you believe in our vision, so you're going to share it to your loved ones and close ones, and they've helped us out too. So thank you guys immensely for helping us, just get our first movie out there and helping us with this Kickstarter.
I don't want to leave Ty out. He does have a Cult Classic Oddities episode to send me. You'll also get access to, I think, 2 we have now, Cult Classic Oddities podcast episodes that Ty does. And I'll to answer a question over here from James, basically asking, how did we settle on found footage? And we did. It's no secret if you listen to a lot that found footage is basically my favorite subgenre of horror. I think it's freaky and scary, and when it's done right, it's really awesome. I know a lot of people disagree with that, but to be honest, found footage came about because of how cheap and easy it is to do, and easy with quotations because it's really easy to make a horrible found footage movie. So we did put money into we put money into effects, as you'll see. We put a lot of time and talent from Potter into post-sound editing. It's crazy because everything was picked up with camera sound because we wanted to keep it real, not to sound too cliched, but to keep it real. There's not a ton of lighting, so we wanted to keep it real. But we also at the same time realized that we couldn't just get just in-camera sound and then just call it a day. You're going to be missing so many cool noises. So thankfully Potter left it to where our voices are basically caught in camera and some of the effects, but then added a ton of things that you guys aren't even really going to notice, to be honest. There's leaves rustling, there's like birds chirping, and you would just think that's happening, but no, it was like sort of awkwardly silent, and Potter went in and like added all these sounds. There's my favorite part, like when you guys watch this, is towards the end. It's just Scotty and I are in this film, and it's just me and him in the cabin, and it's very silent, and we're very much just there for a little bit. And the sound effects he came up with there, just the wind and the tapping of the windows, it was just brilliant. It really brought me back to those wind sounds from Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 and everything I loved about them. So, so to answer your question, James, out of cost, we wanted to make a movie. And we wanted to make sure we made one, so we did it, found footage. Also, it's one of my favorite subgenres. And it was definitely influenced by, I say Evil Dead, but that's not found footage, but that's okay.
But there's sequences to where there is kind of the camera from the POV instance.
Influenced a little bit by Blair Witch, but only to the extent that we're in the woods shooting a found footage film. We're not nearly as shaky as Blair Witch, and it's a lot easier to watch.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I wonder, would anyone have even made that comparison if the antagonist wasn't a female creature? The witch and the she in this movie are like totally different. In fact, the Blair Witch, part of what makes the Blair Witch cool, though, I'm not insulting Blair Witch, part of what makes it cool is that she's this specter that you don't see, right? It's a myth. And whether or not that myth is real is what made that movie scary. And then this is different. There's creature effects, there's special effects and gore and kills like we want out of our monster movies. This is a monster movie and it's different. So I really wonder, if you had made this He Walks the Woods and it was Bigfoot or something, would anyone have made that comparison?
Yeah.
Yeah, it may be, but I always think she is creepier. I think girl demons and girl possessions are just way creepier than guys. So that's why we went with she.
But I just
I'm not saying.
But no, I know what you mean.
I'm not saying it should have been.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
But it's to answer your question, Carmelo, I do think since we did put she there, people are like, oh, it's like Blair Witch because Blair Witch is a she, and some people compares to it, but it's completely different. Maybe people think it from the trailer. Oh, it's just like it, but it's nothing like it. Obviously there's found footage that's like it, but. It'll surprise you.
And sorry, go ahead, Carmelo.
I was going to say, in some important way, I think every found footage film rightly owes a lot to the Blair Witch, and I don't think that's a bad comparison either. And I think is Paranormal Activity the Blair Witch inside a house? It's if you make it abstract enough, you can make those connections. But Blair Witch was the found footage movie that made the genre. It's really hard to play in that genre and not recognize where it came from.
But and to answer your question a tiny bit further, James, yeah, definitely. While I was writing this, Rob wrote it too. Me and Rob basically wrote this, and while we were planning the filming, I mean, I had Grave Encounters, As Above, So Below is one of my favorites. I had all those movies top of mind. What did they do here? What made them work? How did that happen? I also had Taking of Deborah Logan. That's a good movie that was that I love a lot. So I just love found footage. When I'm searching for films, if it's also a found footage film, that makes me want to watch it right away. But
Paranormal Activity, Quarantine.
Paranormal Activity too was top of mind. It was made how did they pull this off? So yeah. If you guys have any more questions, we'll start to wrap it up here. Yeah. So
Gerardo Campos is in the group. What's up, Gerardo? Hey, Dylan, Cody, DeGrave. What's up, man? Thank you for all.
And just to give you guys, we talked about it already, and you guys that have backed us, as of a little less than a week ago, already received a little preview of our next film, which, like Carmelo said in the email, I said in the email. Yeah, right.
You did the email.
Yeah. It's basically, we might not use any of that. Who knows? And as it is right now, there's a little bit of a twist to it. That might not really be exactly how the movie goes, but it is something that is the actual working script that is part of what we're working on. And so we have something in store for you guys coming up that it's definitely way different than She Walks the Woods. It's not found footage. There are a couple, if you want to say found footage elements, but I wouldn't even call it that, some behind-the-scenes type stuff that we're going to incorporate to make it a unique film, and a wicked twist that'll make it a unique film too. But it's going to be different. It's going to be there's going to be a lot more blood and gore. There's going to be a lot more humor as well,
which we love both of.
I'll tell you now, it's basically a slasher. With a lot of homage to the 80s and late 70s, late 80s and early 90s, but it has it has a crazy, wicked twist to it. So we didn't want to just put out another homage slasher, because there's tons of those coming out. And thankfully Carmelo had some ideas, and we revamped the script, and it's really going to be something you guys have never seen before. I think we're really going to catch some eyes here. So we're excited to get started on that. So look for that in the future. And if you guys want to be a part of that, you can pledge at these top tiers in the Kickstarter. If you want to be a bigger part of that, you can reach out to us personally. If you want to invest some real money and have some part ownership and really be involved, then we're always looking for that too. But if not, we're going to get it made either way, whether we self-fund or whatever. So we'll be hitting you. This is just the beginning, and that's why I'm blabbering. And I'm so excited because we finally made our first one. This has been Scotty and I's dream since we started Cult Classic Horror 4.5 years ago, was to eventually just make movies and be in movies and create. And so this is sort of like a dream coming true, and we just want to. We're not going to stop the momentum now. We just want to keep creating and keep pushing forward so that we can just do this full time and it's so fun and have this to do with our friends,
And we will bring you guys with us.
And just because of Cult Classic Horror, we have so many friends, and you guys, Ty and Draco right here right now, commenting shit that I'm not even looking at because it's probably dumb and ridiculous.
Mr. and Mrs. Thompson
is I feel like he's a really good friend, and I've never even met him face to face. And Rob, who's not on because he's eating pie and getting even fatter at his mom's house. You know,
which we can say that because we're good friends.
Yeah, I've never seen the man face to face, but he's literally like probably my best friend. You know what I mean? It's like I'm better friends with him now than my high school friends. Like Carmelo, who's the voice from above right now because he can't get his his video to work on his computer, is now like a very good friend as well, and we're always chatting it up, and we're working on projects together
every day.
And I just don't even like know what I would do if we didn't start this and have this going right now. So I just can't stress enough. Thank you guys. Like, I can't stress that enough.
Yes.
That it's not like me and Scotty might have started some juices flowing with this group, but it's you guys really day in and day out that are in the group, keeping everyone engaged. Because you know that we aren't that much because we're doing all this shit.
We're our schedules are crazy, but you guys are keeping the group flowing and going 100% strong. So we love you guys for that. Thank you.
Appreciate you so much. Robin Party's down there commenting. He's one of those guys that keeps the group going, keeps engagement up, and we just can't thank you guys enough. So we're just super excited. This is a dream that is being realized, and we're just gonna keep pushing forward, and we're going to keep including you guys as best as we can, and we just would love to. The sky's the limit, you know. Let's just keep making.
This is just the beginning.
So, all right, I think I'm done. I think that's it.
I think we have an episode to report in like 10 minutes.
Yes, we do have a podcast to report. Although that one's not like solidly scheduled because it's just whenevs. We had to do this one.
Yeah.
So if you guys happen to caught this video and you're watching, you're like, what the hell is he talking about? Get in the group. Just communicate with all of us. Like, it's a good time. Listen to the podcast, the Cult Classic Horror Show. You can get it anywhere where they have podcasts. Participate in the horror halftime. Get a free shirt. And just, it's a fun time. So you won't regret it. It's a fun time. I did want to say one more thing that we just mentioned, like today. Well, we've mentioned it a lot, but we just seriously started mentioning it today. Looking into an actual Cult Classic Horror meetup, quote unquote.
Event.
So that is something that
I know what we should call it. The Elite Up, right? Elite Meetup.
The Elite Up?
Words. This what's the name?
The Elite.
The Elite.
Or the Meat. The Meat Lead.
We'll come up with but one of those might work. But but you heard it here first.
They sounded much better.
Yeah.
We need to do a CCH event, the Elite Up.
Yes, so you heard it here first. 2020, we're like seriously going to try to schedule something. And you know what? Probably this first one, it'll be easy because we're just going to say, hey guys, we're all going to meet in this centrally located place at this hotel, and we rented out this room for like a day, and we're just going to bullshit and do some catering or something and just hang out. And maybe there's some attractions in the area, and I'm sure we'll go to some bars. And I picture this first meetup being very much a bunch of us friends that already know each other and feel like we've met, but we actually haven't, just getting together and hanging out. And we hope that grows. And then, I don't know, who knows, maybe we'll eventually have our own little like Cult Classic Horror Con or something. We can have some celebrity appearances and all that stuff. So that's another leg of CCH that we're trying to grow. And so keep an eye out for that this next year. We'll give you guys plenty of notice. We're just going to pick a spot. We're just going to do it. And it'll probably be like over the weekend. We'll just meet for a couple days, hang out, shoot the shit. We'll probably bring some merch. We'll come up with a format. We'll probably do a live podcast, and then we'll do a
lot of recording and stuff.
We'll do some giveaways. We'll have some merch with us. The film will be out by then. Maybe we'll do a showing of that, Rocky Horror style, where you can yell at the screen as much as you want.
Yeah.
And so it'll be a good time. We'll get it figured out. We'll give you guys plenty of notice, and we'll try and pick everything super cheaply. So, yeah, Ty, yes. Halloween Horror Nights Orlando, right after I said super cheaply. So that would be perfect, though. It would literally be perfect. Yeah. So.
Yeah, all of us running around for Halloween Horror Nights and going in and out of the haunted houses. That would be awesome.
Rob would get kicked out in like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
He'd punch
so.
the first Halloween hunt guy you'd see, and that'd be it.
I think so. Well, cool. I think that's it. We do have to record an episode, so I think just go to kickstarter.shewalksthewoods.com, snag up those last higher tiers, come join us on set for this next film that we're hoping to at the latest to film in the spring when it gets warm again here in Colorado. That's all I got. Any final? I already said it once, but any final just remarks from you guys?
29 hours left. Kickstarter ends. Get your spots.
Tune in tomorrow for a new episode of the Cult Classic Horror Show.
That's right. Cool, guys. Well, thanks for joining us.
2016.
We're going to go record this episode on Blair Witch 2016. So if you don't subscribe to the podcast, make sure you do so and hear our thoughts on it first thing in the morning. All right, we'll talk to you
Love
later.
you guys.